Perched high above the Neckar River, Heidelberg Castle is more than a ruin. It's a storybook come to life. In this video, we will uncover its fascinating history, breathtaking views, and hidden secrets that make it one of Germany's most iconic landmarks. Welcome to Heidelberg Castle, Germany's most enchanting landmark unveiled. Let's dive in.
Subscribe now.
So today we are here at Heidelberg Castle, and this is one of the most visited castles in the whole of Germany. And that's quite a significant thing because there's 25,000 castles that you can find in this nation where castles are in abundance. If I'm not mistaken, there's about 16 kingdoms that were in existence prior to, let's say, 100 years ago. So Heidelberg is the most visited, or among the most visited castles. It attracts a lot of visitors. And to come over here, it will cost you just about €9. So the €9 will get you to come up onto the funicular and down as well. And you also get entrance into the castle. You can also pay for like an extra fee to get to a higher position to see a tower. And what's really good is that with this ticket, you can use the funicular. But if you don't want to use the funicular, you can also go through a pathway where you have to walk up a little bit. But for all of you guys that like hiking, that may be a good option, especially when the weather is like today where the sun is out. Okay, one of the really cool features that you see. So when you walk over here, you see this over here, and you have these noblemen that are positioned strategically, I'm presuming, according to hierarchy. You see noblemen, you see some of the intellects, you see some of the emperors, the kings, you see some of the knights as well. And obviously the German nation is known for that, for being a nation of noble men and of being chivalrous and being knights in the past when you look at the history. So you see that position as one of the really cool features that really stands out when you're looking at this over here. Now, I can see that there are some people that have gone inside. So let's walk inside and see how that is. It's an absolute bargain to come over here, I'm telling you, because you get this magnificent view from over here. And what's also special is that it's not just the castle itself, you get the view of the river Rhine, which is very famous over here in Germany. It's got a tremendous amount of history and beautiful houses on the opposite end. Also got the hills over there, you've got all these trees. What a magnificent location to have this castle built at. And then you've also got more of the castle, the back area of what we showed you initially. And although it's not in pristine condition, although it's not really fully functioning, it's still, what happened about it's not fully a ruin, because sometimes a castle can completely lose its structure. So it's kind of got that intact as well. So you can kind of still walk through certain areas into the balcony areas. You can still see key features as well. So it's been maintained well from that point of view. So this part of the castle is the pharmacy museum. So you can see the evolution of how medication was, being implemented within the castle. And there's a lot of different influences from different cultures. And just all around, you can see how there was Arabian influences as well, how there was Asian influences as well. So it's quite interesting to see. And the way that they've actually displayed everything it's done in such an impressive way. So, it's definitely worth a while coming over here. Okay, so it's time to go to the laboratory. Let's check this out. Very interesting. So you can see how they would come up with the medication. And these are the processes that would take place. This has gone back to the 16th century as well. So we're speaking about centuries now. Some of the equipment and machinery from that time, this is from the 1900s, this particular one. This is for the pressing, sieving, and filtering, as it's mentioned up there. I was never someone that actually enjoyed chemistry class, so I'm not so aware of the terms, but it does look interesting how they would have actually ended up with the medication using these processes. Okay, so right now we are here at the Palace Gardens of Heidelberg Castle, and this is free to enter. So if you was to walk up, you wouldn't have to pay for anything, which is quite a good thing to know. So you get to see some spectacular views, which we kind of showed you earlier. And so you've got the views over here. Obviously, if you want to enter the main area, you would go onto that side and you would have to pay €9, which we spoke about. You also got a downstairs section. So if you go downstairs, you can walk through different pathways and obviously walk towards the viewpoint, and there's some really finely cut grass that you can sit on. So a lot of people are taking advantage of that today because it's a wonderful sunny day. Same thing over here as well. There's this garden here. And what's interesting is that this garden is so vast and so wide that at the time of when they were constructing this garden, they weren't able to complete it for whatever reason. So, but having said that, it is still quite impressive in spite of this. Even when you look at the houses that are opposite as well, opposite the River Rhine, which goes into a couple of different countries, by the way, the houses, it looks as though it's houses of noble men. It's been designed in such a way that it's just magnificent. It's befitting of the castle being opposite to where those houses are situated. So it's really impressive. And I can kind of see, because I was watching some videos and I realized that obviously this castle isn't fully intact. As I've been to Neuschwanstein, Elt's Castle, I've been to Hohenzollern, they are kind of functioning. They are fully functioning castles. This one isn't. So I was like, would it be worth coming over here? And why is it the most visited castle in Germany? But in spite of that, when I've come here, I'm impressed because of the garden, because of the views, because of when you go to the main area, you still have some of the main striking features right in front of your face. So it's really impressive. And so I can tell you that definitely it is worth coming to Heidelberg Castle because it is in very good condition in spite of the fact that it's not fully functioning. Just gonna walk on the grass and, I think I'm overdressed for the occasion because of the fact that it's sunny, but I'm not gonna take my coat off and hold it in my hands now. Anyways, one thing I've realized over here is that there's so many people that have come from all over the world. Like there are buses full of people coming over here with 30 people from each tour group. They're coming in numbers. So they are enjoying this. And let's just walk through this area. And it's so vast, you're like, wow, you can literally spend a whole day over here. So if you are coming to Heidelberg Castle and you're thinking that, what else should I do? You could spend your entire day over here. You've also got restaurants, you've got cafes as well. Another thing I like about castles is that it takes me back into a time of, let's say 300, 400, maybe 500 years, maybe 1,000 years back. And I'm always thinking that when you go inside a castle, you find like a study room. In most castles, or if not all castles, you'll find like a study room where you see a window. And when you look out the window, you've got greenery, you've got birds singing, or you've got a noise or the sound of birds. And then you've got books on these tables. And you're just imagining that, wow, in those times, how people, or how kings, emperors, or anyone that was of like a noble status, how they would be constantly working, constantly thinking, constantly improving themselves and producing things that would go out to the world to enhance the knowledge of people. But now, with so many distractions, how does anyone even have the time to think? How does anyone even have the time to even master their craft?
How does anyone even have the time to become a master of something when you have so many distractions? But when you're in nature and the wind is blowing in such a way, the sun is out, you're looking out and you're seeing magnificent views and you're writing something, imagine how great and how creative the work would come out that's being produced. So yeah, anyways, we're over here, right at the top, and you've got more features over here. And I'm not really sure what's behind the walls over here, but they've got these big walls. Obviously, with castles, you do need to defend yourself, and there's always going to be a threat. So they would have put some big walls there. You can also see the flag up there, and the remainder of the castle, and also wonderful views. So very, very impressive. Very impressive. It's got one of the best gardens of a castle I've seen until date. So really impressed, and I'm sure that when you go down as well, I'm going to be more impressed, because from when I was looking from afar, it's just got nice pathways and grass to sit on. If you enjoyed exploring Heidelberg Castle, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video in our Germany series. There's so much more to uncover, from breathtaking castles to charming towns. And if you love travel content, this channel is your ultimate passport to adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next journey, inshallah.